Imagine waking up in a world where cars simply never became a part of American life. You're in Los Angeles, but instead of the usual traffic jams on the 405 freeway, the streets are calm, with more people walking and no cars in sight. Think about New York City, where there are no taxis or Ubers rushing around. In Chicago, instead of sprawling suburbs, there are smaller, walkable neighborhoods everywhere. Sounds crazy, right? But what if this could have been our reality if the US had never developed its car culture? Let's dive into how America would look if cars had never become a part of life here. How it would change cities, the economy, the environment, and even the way people see themselves. To begin, let's talk about the American dream. The classic picture of success in America, owning your own car, driving wherever you want, whenever you want, is deeply ingrained in US culture. But what if cars were never developed? What would freedom look like then? No more sitting behind the wheel, windows down, music blasting on a Sunday drive. No more road trips with friends, chasing sunsets on the open highway. Instead, people might find their sense of freedom in other ways. Taking trains, walking through lively streets, or sharing transport with others. Imagine a world where cities aren't built around cars, but around people. More public parks, more bike lanes, more places to connect. Instead of endless highways and parking lots. The hustle of driving to a job, gone. The thrill of a road trip across the country never existed. The simple joy of driving your first car, just a dream that never came to be. Would the American dream still be about owning something that represents freedom? Or would it become something else entirely? Without cars, American cities would look drastically different. Urban landscapes would be more compact, designed for people, not vehicles. Imagine the streets of New York City. No taxis, no honking, no traffic jams, just people walking freely, cyclists gliding through open lanes, and an efficient public transport system connecting everything. It's easy to picture this in a place like New York or Chicago, where subways and buses already dominate. But what about Los Angeles, Dallas? Cities built for cars, where highways stretch endlessly and commutes take hours, might have developed in a completely different way. No more traffic congestion, no more endless parking lots. Instead, buses, trains, and subways would be the heartbeat of the city. Reliable, comfortable, fast. Maybe high-speed rail would be the new normal, allowing people to travel across the country without ever needing a car. A world without cars, is it a dream or a missed opportunity? One of the biggest shifts in a car-free world would be the economy. The US car industry is massive, with legendary companies like General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler shaping not just American roads, but American culture itself. But what if they never existed? Imagine a world where there are no car factories, no dealerships, no gas stations, no repair shops. An industry that fuels millions of jobs and pumps billions of dollars into the economy, completely gone. Without these car giants, the US would have to look elsewhere. What industry would take the lead? Public transportation? Renewable energy? Tech? Maybe rail companies? Bus systems and electric transport would dominate. Maybe high-speed rail would stretch across the country, connecting cities in ways we've never seen before. The way Americans work, move, and spend money would be unrecognizable. Car dealerships and gas stations would be relics of a forgotten past, replaced by bike hubs, electric scooters, and cutting-edge public transit. Would this be a step backward or a leap forward? For many Americans, cars are more than just transportation. They are a source of joy, of adventure, of memories. The thrill of cruising down the highway on a summer evening, the excitement of a car show, the roar of an engine at a NASCAR race. But what if that was never a part of life? Without cars, how would Americans spend their weekends? How would they gather with friends, take road trips, or chase sunsets on the open road? It's hard to picture a summer without drive-in movies, without tailgates, without those long, scenic drives that feel like freedom itself. People would adapt, find new ways to explore. Maybe they'd take trains instead of road trips, Maybe they'd rediscover their own cities, walking through hidden streets instead of speeding past them. But something would be lost: the spontaneity, the independence, the ability to just go. Motorsports? NASCAR? They might not even exist. Instead, maybe Americans would seek thrills in extreme sports, adrenaline-fueled challenges, or new forms of entertainment that never had to rely on a car. And what about nature? Without cars, national parks and camping sites wouldn't be a quick drive away. People might depend on buses, trains, or even new transport systems to escape the city and breathe in the wild. Imagine stepping outside and breathing in fresh, unpolluted air. No thick smog, no endless streams of exhaust fumes, just clean skies and crisp morning air. Without cars, America's carbon footprint would shrink. No millions of vehicles pumping out emissions, no highways filled with gas-burning engines. The fight against climate change would have started long ago. Cities would be different. Parking lots? Gone. In their place, parks, gardens, and green spaces. Streets would be designed for people, not traffic. Instead of endless commutes, life would be centered around walkable communities. And then there's health. Air pollution would drop, leading to fewer respiratory diseases, fewer asthma attacks, fewer heart diseases, lower obesity rates. But it's more than just the air. Walking, cycling, moving. A world without cars wouldn't just be cleaner, it would be healthier. A society where movement is a way of life. So, would this be a sacrifice? Or would it be a step towards something better? Cars, especially luxury vehicles, are deeply associated with success and wealth in the US. From Tesla to Lamborghini, cars have become a status symbol. But without cars, what would be the new symbols of success? Perhaps large homes, private jets, or extravagant vacations would take their place. The car, once the ultimate symbol of achievement, might be replaced by other things that reflect a person's financial standing. Maybe it's about having the most advanced tech in your home, a high-end electric bike, or living in a city with the best public transport. Finally, let's talk about identity. The car has always been part of America's identity. From the early days of the Ford Model T to the rise of muscle cars and the American-made Cadillac, cars have represented American innovation, freedom, and individualism. Without cars, the American identity would likely be defined in new ways. Instead of being about the road, it might be about technology, sustainability, or urban living. People might look to new symbols of innovation and progress, like electric bikes, tech gadgets, or even sustainable architecture. The US could become a place where cities focus on living in harmony with the environment, with walking and cycling at the forefront.